No big crowd here. Okay, I will call to order special meeting of the 2,377th meeting of the Darien Police Commission. And first order of business is acceptance of the August 7th and September 9 minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We're all in favor.
Aye.
Okay. Then an email commending the services of Officer Thurston. What's that all about, Chief?
You have an email here from a resident. It came to Captain Marin. The writer's son's car broke down on the windiest road in Darien on Goodwide River Road, and the resident was very happy that we sent an officer very quickly. The officer was very attentive to her duties. AAA came and got the car out of there very, quickly. So, resident of Salem Straits was just happy with officers. And it's just indicative of all of our officers, but it was nice of him to take the time to send the
That
email
is very nice.
thanking her for her service.
Good. Okay, department activity.
Over to Captain Marin.
Department activity. So we're looking at the period from August 7th through September 11th. I guess it's the last time we were updated. On August 6th, the 43-year-old Darien man was arrested by warrant for providing alcohol to minors and reckless endangerment, stemming from an incident that took place on June 25th. On that date, the suspect reportedly provided alcohol to his 20-year-old golf caddy while playing golf at Weaver and Country Club. The underage caddy was later involved in a DWI accident in Darien, a short distance away. The caddy was arrested as a result of the accident. On August 7th, a 19-year-old Stanford man, a 20-year-old Stanford man, and a 19-year-old Bridgeport man were arrested on larceny and interfering charges for their roles in the attempted theft of a scooter at the Darien train station. August 13th, an Old Farm Road residence was burglarized. On August 14th, an $11,000 Rolex watch was reportedly stolen from a handbag at Weed Beach while the owner was playing tennis. During a swift-moving thunderstorm on August 19th, officers responded to a Hamilton Road residence on a report of a structure fire. Officers observed the garage portion of the home fully engulfed in flames. At that time of the fire, the family was away and therefore no one was in the house. The structure sustained severe damage. On August 27th, shortly after midnight, officers responded to Chipotle restaurant for a burglary in progress. Upon arrival, it was determined that the suspect had fled the scene, but not before he smashed a glass door to gain entry and remove cash register. August 31st, at approximately 4 p.m., an officer on patrol observed a 23-year-old Fairfield man and a 26-year-old New York man walking on a clearly posted private property on Great Island. The officers patrolling the area due to recent reports of trespassing at that location, as individuals often attempt to access Ziegler's Cove in Long Island Sound using the property's private dock. The Fairfield man was found to be in possession of narcotics and was subsequently charged. The New York man ran from the scene at one point, but later returned and was charged with interfering with an officer. Both were also cited for criminal trespass. September 3rd, a 40-year-old Hoyt Street woman was arrested for domestic violence. On September 4th, a 64-year-old Norwalk man was arrested for larceny in the first degree, stemming from an investigation that began in 2016. The investigation revealed that the suspect failed to repay a $25,000 loan he took from an elderly Darien resident. The suspect also had a long history of committing this type of crime and has been arrested on federal charges in the past. On September 4th, 2 Bronx, New York men were arrested for larceny, identity theft, and trespassing charges. An alert citizen observed an unusual circumstance at a vacant home. It was later determined that the suspects had fraudulently purchased an iPhone using a Monroe, Connecticut resident's identity and shipped it to the vacant Darien house. A surveillance was set up by the Darien Police Detective Bureau and the suspects were taken into custody. From August 1st through the 15th, we participated in a statewide distracted driving enforcement campaign. During the month of August, the Marine Division and the members of the dive team collaborated and assisted with Darien EMS and Darien Beach lifeguards in water emergency training. Since August 7th, we've had 4 stolen cars in which the keys were in the vehicles. 2 of the 4 vehicles have been recovered to this point. Since August 7th, we've had 6 car burglaries of unlocked vehicles at various locations through town. On September 10th, several officers participated in a Battle of the Badges blood drive through the American Red Cross. This weekend, the 40th annual Darien Road Race is being held. And traffic stop data, 412 traffic stops and 184 infractions from August 7th to today.
All right, so who won?
It was close, but unfortunately, the Roten Heights Fire Department came out on top.
Tough.
We
All
had a
right,
good showing of it.
you did good.
Just to expand on that, I believe the Red Cross said that was the biggest blood drive that they've had, certainly more than, we had this once before at the Piedmont, and this exceeded that tally. So
Oh, that's
it was
very
a
good.
good showing all around. I'm happy to say Heights Fire Department won, but our guys put up a valiant effort. So
Well, congratulations
To
to
the
the
benefit
Heights
of
Fire
everybody.
Department. That's fine, that's good. Okay, under old business, let me just report the good news that we, on September 9th, had a meeting of the Police Commission in order to promote various individuals. And just for the record, that to the rank of sergeant, it was voted that James Palmieri would be our new sergeant. And for lieutenant, it would be Ali Hudema. And for captain, Rob Shredders. So I just want to publicly say how, really pleased, I know the entire commission was with the quality of all of the people who were interviewed that day. This is as they say, we've got a heck of a bench here, okay?
I have to catch myself because I sometimes say, we're well-positioned at this point. And we've always been well-positioned, and that's, I think the hallmark of our agency, that we remain well-positioned every time we promote folks like this, that the professional police department that we are and always have been just continues on. We are very, very fortunate to have bench players come up and take starting roles and do a fine job.
Yep, and be perfectly frank, any of the people who were interviewed would be absolutely qualified for the position.
And if I can just take a moment on that promotion topic, being that Lieutenant Shredders was the training lieutenant, he's moving up now to the administrative services captain. We have an opening for the training lieutenant. The general orders allow the chief to make that transfer and appointment with the concurrence and acceptance of the police commission. We have polled the lieutenants. We have 5. Allison Adema is interested in that position. She is the only lieutenant currently that is interested in that position, taking it at this juncture. I believe she is ready to take that position. She has been working as the adjunct training sergeant with Lieutenant Shredders for quite some time as a part-time role. I hereby make the nomination that she take over the training lieutenant's position with the approval of the police commission.
You need a motion from us? Or approval?
I think it's just approval and concurrence.
Yeah, approved, absolutely.
She will do a fine
I
job
think that's a
there,
great choice.
and that will continue on in a fine, keeping our training division really is tasked with a tough responsibility. There is a lot of paper pushing and a lot of standards we have to meet for both accreditation and for state standards. So Bob Shredders has done an excellent job. I'm sure Allison Hadema will continue on in that same vein. Thank you.
Good. Any other old business? Okay, the new business, traffic issues. Now, I don't know who to turn to for traffic issues now, since our leading traffic expert got promoted.
It's still me, I guess,
It's
for right
still
now,
you.
as far as I can tell. But we are going to be bringing some more bench players up.
Okay.
Taking the role in traffic issues, but I'll keep the mantle for right this minute.
That's fine.
Everyone's familiar with the curve on the Howard Tree Ridge Road near Weeburn Lane by the Weeburn Country Club. It predates internal combustion. We would not design that curve at this point. We do have a request from a resident. This has been ongoing for several years. Her stone wall there has been struck several times usually late at night, sometimes with bad weather, sometimes with someone who had tipped the elbow a few too many times in the middle of the night. So she's looking for some enhancements there again. I was out there with the Department of Public Works Director again yesterday. We are going to re-groove the road on that corner. The grooving that's there is kind of worn down. He's going to put up some additional signage, and we will assign additional enforcement up there. There's really not too much more we can do. We had already moved a telephone pole from the clear zone on that corner to try to make it safer. That was probably about 10 years ago. The stone wall is probably 20 feet back from the road, so if somebody is not correcting in 20 feet, I don't think there's too much more we can do on that corner, but we're going to keep monitoring it. Not amenable to putting a guardrail there to protect the stone wall. That's just not an effective traffic treatment. If you put a guardrail there, the people that could correct and don't hit anything and go on their way are not going to be able to correct anyway. So it's kind of a balancing reasonableness test here, and I think we'll make a few more enhancements there to try to make it as safe as we can.
Okay.
Chief, I'm curious, what is the perceived benefit of a grooved road?
The tactile, seat of the pants, pretty much. People can come through there and they know that there's something changed. We had some problem with some icing on that corner, and it does tend to, when the snow gets on there and they plow it, it does make it a little bit safer in the
So
winter
there's a
time
sense
as well.
that people behave differently, they drive a little more cautiously on grooved pavement.
Yeah, and
Where there's
it's
nothing
prominently
there, they're out
posted
of
there.
the sweet
Yeah.
zone.
We have people spinning out on that corner, which is, with the grooving, we really don't have as much.
Got it?
Some areas do have, they're called lateral rumble strips that are grooved into the pavement
I've seen
across.
them. Yeah, I've seen them.
And, you hear the bloop, bloop, bloop as you drive along. The only issue that we would have there is they're loud, and the residents that are in that area are gonna hear that 24/7.
Right.
Not beyond the realm of possibility of someday exploring that, but that's kind of a last chance effort. We don't have a high rate of collisions there, and usually when they do, they're late at night or someone's not paying attention, one or the other.
Right. All right, thank you.
Okay, then we have appointment of executive officer.
The general orders also allow the chief of police to appoint an executive officer, which is required by our general orders. We have to have someone who is second in command that will assume the duties and responsibilities of the chief of police in the incapacitation or absence of the chief. Historically, it has been the senior captain, although that's not required. In this case, I am wholeheartedly supporting Captain Marin as the executive officer of our agency. Again, that needs concurrence and approval of the police commission.
Approved.
Approved indeed. All right, and then our favorite,
The last item on the agenda, we can table.
we can table that.
When the chief's office was outfitted, there really isn't a lot of storage space for the chief to have files. There's a lot of files in there, but not specifically for the chief's files. We looked into attempting to get a matching cabinet of the one file that's in there, but it exceeds the cost of some small countries' capital projects. So I'm gonna seek some,
Alternative.
alternative at a much lower cost. I just need file storage. I don't need the Fabergé egg storage, so.
Okay, you
so
got
we
it,
can table that one to another day.
you got it. I know this is a special meeting, we're not supposed to add anything, but I do want to point out, in case anybody's watching this on television, that there's going to be a fine ceremony on the 14th at 11 o'clock, I hope I'm getting this right, at the town hall with kind of the official swearing in of our new chief, Don Anderson. So everybody's cordially invited to show up. And we are also going to have the official swearing in of the new sergeant, lieutenant, and captain, and that's going to be on the 17th, Tuesday the 17th at the DCA at 5 o'clock. Okay, so if anybody would like to come and celebrate these promotions, please come. Right? The more the merrier.
There's
Okay.
one more point of business, I think. It's not known to everybody, but this is Chairman Johnson's last official Darien Police Commission meeting. And I think I speak for Kim, I'm sure. I'm sure I speak for the entire Darien Police Department. We want to extend our thanks to the chairman, Paul Johnson, for his years of superb service.
32 years.
32 years.
32 years.
Superior, superb, outstanding service to the Darien Police Department. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
It's been our pleasure.
And I would also say that I hope that everybody will be more than pleased, and I think they will be, with my replacement, Kevin Cunningham, who's I think he's almost a lifetime Darien resident, as am I, and he's going to do a great job as the minority party's representative on the Darien Police Commission. So I know he'll be great. And just on that note, I do want to thank our current commissioners, all our past commissioners, for their service and the loyalty they have shown to the department. And they are all, those of them who are still alive, I consider definitely my friends, and I certainly miss people like Doug Campbell and Linda Santarella, who have passed away, but were superb members of the police commission. And I also want to thank the various chiefs that I have served under, and I think there are 6 of them. First, very briefly, John Jordan, then for a sadly short time, Bruce Anderson, and Hugh McManus, who's a good friend of mine, and certainly Dwayne Lavello, and I hope I didn't forget anybody. And for 2 days,
No, Ray.
Ray Osmond, of course, and then for 2 days, Don Anderson. So anyway, thank all of them.
I would be remiss if I did not just offer my concurrence to Commissioner Joyce's fine acknowledgement. The fact that a volunteer has been serving the town of Darien through 6 chiefs of police is just something that does not happen. People don't stay 32 years when they're getting paid, much less when they're volunteering.
You mean they don't get a pension? Oh, my God. No.
Commissioner Johnson has a distinct and distinctive history of being practical and pragmatic and always looking out for the best interests of the town of Darien and the men and women of the police department. It's a balancing test. He has done that very, very well. Every decision he's ever made has been what he believed was the best interest of all involved. So I take this opportunity to personally thank you. Although you did not hire me, you were here shortly thereafter. I've been here a little
That is
longer than
correct.
you.
You've been here longer than I
But
am.
we've been here quite some time together, and I, on behalf of the men and women of the police department, I offer my heartiest thanks to you for all your service to the town of Darien.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I will certainly miss being here, but I know we're going to be in very, very good hands. And I also want to thank my friend over there, Jane, who has
also been here just about as long as we have.
That's right. And before her, Barbara. So it's been a long run, but a fun run. And one other thing I want to just point out to people, that in my 32 years, the Darien Police Commission has, when we have voted on anything, has been unanimous, with one exception. And that was way back when a request was made by the men to be able to wear beards. And that vote was 2 against and 1 in favor. And that was me. I was in favor back then. And it's come to pass that they now are allowed to have beards. So I was right. Okay. Okay, thanks. Is there any other business?
I don't have any.
Okay, if not, I will call this meeting to an end.